Welcome to the unboxing and review of the Sharkoon Gaming DAC Pro S. And it's not only a DAC, it's also an ADC, because there at the back you can plug in a run-of-the-mill headset with a TRRS connector and a microphone. And yeah, it plugs into a USB port. By the way, there was a mailbag about that, or it was included in a mailbag, card and link in the description. So let's unbox it, and it's a really fancy box that feels expensive. It is only around 50 bucks, but I guess, yeah, the massive or relatively massive cover just lifts up, and inside you have nothing. Let's zoom down here. And yeah, that's it. Looks like a USB stick, a little bit fatter, I'd say. Some LEDs at the back. We have a close-up in a second. And yeah, the TRRS connector, and of course USB, and a whole lot of labels. That's not very stylish. Oh wait, there is something more. There's a little tab here to lift things up, and inside we find a booklet. Okay, manual, not booklet, a real manual. Let's have a look. But before a close-up at the thing itself, really just an oversized USB stick, high-res audio, okay, Sharkoon technologies, whatever, 24 bits, 96 kilohertz. And yeah, here 3 LEDs to show you if it's working at 44.1, 48, or actually 96 kilohertz. The other side, yeah, China export, FC, EAC, and dangerous waste. Don't throw it away. And yeah, the TRS connector, and we already saw the USB side of things. I don't expect too much from the booklet, so yeah, it has a connector here and a connector there and a display here in a lot of languages. Yeah, and you can connect a gaming headset to it with a TRS connector and plug that into a USB port or via adapter into your pad or phone. Great. Yeah, safety instructions, let's skip that. Nothing here but safety first. And then we have, specifications. Let's have a closer look at that. By the way, the booklet is made out of fancy glossy paper, so yeah, it will reflect the light at certain angles. Anyway, type external sound card, so it's really a sound card. And it's a Soundchips BES 3100 and a Max 9722A. Yeah, I'll look them up and put some information about those here in the corner. Connector USB, output voltage 2 volts RMS, impedance 16 to 300 ohms. Yeah, that's for your earplugs. Maximum power 1/4 watt. Signal to noise ratio 100 decibels. 0.002% distortion, sampling frequency, yeah, we already saw that, 24 bits, 69 kilohertz, weight 8 grams, dimensions, blah, 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 supported operating systems, everything. Cable and interfaces, 3.5 millimeter stereo jack, TRRS, basically it's a stereo plus mic jack, TRRS pin out, CTIA, some norm, gold-plated connector, gold, whatever, compatibility with everything, and package content, the Gaming DAC Pro S and this manual. Now, that thing is supposed to solve the following problem. You have a subpar sound card in your PC and laptop, and therefore when you connect a headset to it, your sound is really bad. Let's say that. So I have no problems with the sound output, with the sound that comes from the earplugs. That's okay, but the microphone input of my laptop is quite bad. And I'm currently recording the sound with, sorry for the quake, with my iPad, which has a really good microphone input. And yeah, let's just test it if this thing really can improve the microphone recording quality of my laptop. And it's an old Lenovo ThinkPad T560, okay? Still recording the sound with my iPad. So, this is a public test. This is a public test. Okay, now I connected my microphone, which is, by the way, a Rode SmartLav Plus. There was also somewhere a review card link directly to the laptop. And yeah, you already hear the sound is a little bit different. But yeah, let's do the sound snippet for later comparison. This is a public test. This is a public test. Now I'm plugging in the Sharkoon and we'll see how that goes. Okay, Windows set something and okay. You probably can't see it, but yeah, Windows 10 Sharkoon Gaming Pro DAC will be installed, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let me configure that thing, or I don't think there is any configuration, but let me configure the microphone source. Currently, I'm recording with some aerial microphones built in here or built into the laptop. Okay, and now for the sound with the microphone input through the Sharkoon thingy, which is installed here. This is a public test. This is a public test. Okay, I have now to cut that together in my video cutting software and hear it for myself before I can say anything about it. This is a public test. 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 To my untrained ears, the sound recorded with the iPad still sounds very good. Maybe it's missing out a wee bit in the lower frequency range. The sound recorded with the Realtek onboard chipset is okay, but it's totally missing transparency. It's a wee bit mushy. The sound recorded with the Sharkoon Gaming DAC Pro S. It's very transparent. It's as good as the iPads, maybe a bit better, maybe a bit stronger in the lower frequencies. I'm a bit unsure about that. One technical remark. I had to turn up the the level in the cutting software for the Sharkoon sound bits by 13 dBs. So the recording level was very low. Compared to the Realtek onboard chipset, there I only have to turn it up to 6 dBs. And the iPad is always recording on a very high level. so high, in fact, that sometimes if the microphone is too close to my mouth, yeah, it's distorting. I only had to turn it up there by 1 decibel. The recording level stuff you can, of course, fix in the Windows settings. I should have thought about that. Yeah, here in the properties for the microphone, and I have a German Windows, sorry. You have here the level slide, and 90% is, yeah, it works good with the recording software I'm using. There are no other interesting properties for that. Yeah, you cannot change the bit rate or the frequency of the recording. It's always 16-bit, 48,000 Hertz. But you have some more options here for the output. Okay. There you can, if you want, there are a lot of options. Yeah, play things, bass boost, headphone virtualization, loudness equalization, blah, 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 whatever. But here you can actually set which frequency, yeah, the output works between 44,100 Hertz and 96,000 Hertz. Always 24 bits, so yeah, high fidelity. I don't want to keep from you the most compelling feature of that thing, and that are the blinking lights when you plug it into the USB port. And now it says, okay, it's digital analog converting with 96 kilohertz. Great stuff, huh? One thing I couldn't show you, or let you hear, of course, is what comes out of the earplugs. That is the analog output of that thing. And let's say it's very loud. It's got some oomph, so much more than the built-in Realtek chipset. However, there is always a slight noise floor on the output, and it's very noticeable when you, yeah, don't play a sound. And yeah, it's always there, and it's not nice. So that's definitely a minus. So, is it worth the 50 bucks, euros you pay for it? Well, depends what you are buying it for. I wanted to buy, or I bought it actually, to equalize the sound between my iPad recordings and the recordings I do on my notebook. And that works quite well. So the microphone recording quality is really good. And yeah, you get a really loud sound out of your headphones with that thing. And I guess that's why they call it a gaming DAC, and maybe gamers have turned out the volume to a degree that they don't care about that slight noise level that's always there. It works perfectly with Windows, absolutely no software problems, so yeah, it's a solid product. But if you Google for the same chips that are built in here, according to the manual, you find there are a lot of these little USB thingies with exactly the same functionality and maybe for a better price out there. So, in the end, you have to decide for yourself, I guess. And with that, I say bye.